like Amazon Pay. Netflix and chillin' got me thinking about you all day. You saying he's your best friend, someone to text friend. Soon as I become your ex, he'll become the sex friend. Don't make yourself look less than playing these silly games. Instead of speaking the truth, you repeating lies to my face like,
I know that you've been saying he's your best friend. I know that you've been saying he's your best friend. Best friend. I know that you've been saying he's your best friend. Best friend. I know that you've been saying he's your best friend. Best friend. I know that you've been saying he's your best friend. Best friend. I know that you've been saying he's your best friend. Best friend. I know that you've been saying he's your best friend. Best friend. I know that you've been saying.
What up, what up, what up? How y'all doing? It's tonight. Welcome to Skrill Town Talk. It's your boy, Mr. Skrill Town himself, aka Fetty Skrills. And tonight's guest we have, and this is day 4 of Entertainment Week, we have 2018 Josie Music Award winner and Grammy member, Annemarie Picerno. What's going on, Ann?
How you doing? I'm doing great. Busy time, but we're keeping up and having a good time during the holidays, and a lot of great stuff coming up for the new year as well.
Yeah, and I'm so excited to have you tonight. We really appreciate your time. I know that it's getting ready to be the holidays. Everybody's getting ready for all that good food and good drink. But like I said, it's a pleasure for us to have you on tonight. So for the
Not
guests,
just the holidays. I've been eating since the year of COVID. What are you talking about?
Oh, snap. Oh, I was too. I went up 25 pounds and then I had to lose 25 pounds.
Good. You know that when that all happened, everybody's stocking up on toilet paper and paper towels. I'm like, I can use the phone book. I'm buying steak.
Right. Good steak.
Anyway, I started my diet early already. I've done pretty good over the holidays, eating good, but I've been starting to exercise and started doing my sit-ups again. And, because I'm walking around the house naked and nothing fits. So you gotta get out of the house and put some clothes on, young lady.
Hey, that's just an excuse to walk around naked even more. It's like ain't none of this stuff fitting right now. Let's go ahead and walk around.
I'm not going to Walmart and going to size up. It's not happening. I'm going to stay home and do some sit-ups. Okay.
Sit-ups and push-ups. If anything don't work, it's the sit-ups and push-ups, y'all. So we're gonna play the video clip so you guys can get a little bit more familiar with Annemarie Picerno.
Oh.
I don't know what love is anymore. I've been kicked around, beaten down, slept on the floor. I don't know what love is anymore. I know that love and money pain. You're the money. Ain't got nothing but money pain, money pain. I need money. Be my Mr. Santa, I'm yours forever, dear. And I pray in a world finds not peace. And I pray we'll all be safe, free. And I pray and family. What if we could be colorblind? See what's in one's heart and mind. Stand up together, blend the lines. What color are you? What color are you? What color are you?
And there we have it. Beautiful, beautiful voice. has done a very lot. Her bio says that she is a Grammy member, Americana Music Association member, an indie collaborative artist, and 2018 Josie Music Award artist of the year in Nashville. She has performed in theater, bands in every musical genre, comedy shows, film, radio, and television. Her diverse musical sound mix country, pop, blues, soul, and rock. She was awarded Best Music Video Concept and Grand Jury Prize Gold 2021 Best Music Video at the 2021 Los Angeles Motion Picture Festival. Wow. For her music video Colorblind, as well as Best Music Video for 2021, the Global Nonviolent Film Festival in 2021, and Artist of the Year in the Red Carpet Holland Awards, 2019 for the Grand Royale Music Award and LDM Radio Awards. So yeah, and then it says select singles also released on Bongo Boy Records, and for consideration, the first ballot for the 61st, 62nd, 63rd, and 64th Grammy Awards. So yeah, Annemarie, you have done an amazing job throughout your career. Like all I can say is like how? Like where'd this start?
A lot of tuna eggs and being poor and sleeping on the floor, which I write a lot about in my songs.
Yeah.
The journey, I don't know, life is a journey, no matter whether you're in the music biz, entertainment, or just life in general. Everybody, you travel through people. I recently met somebody that was on NASCAR racing for many years as a tech part of the team. And I think now he's on Scott Borchetta's team. And, he worded it perfectly. He said, I'm a traveler, because when you're in the entertainment business, and even racing is part of entertainment or sport, or a musician, and I call myself an entertainer. You do a lot of traveling, and a lot of people have the perception that, oh, you're getting a lot of action, but it can actually kind of be a lonely road, even if you're in a relationship, even for some people that are married, because you travel, you spend a lot of time driving and flying and staying in hotels, and I've done dinner theaters and cruise ships, and you get one job at 6 months, and you meet great people, and you have great times and memories. Then you go here and there, and I'm talking about even years before the internet and how social media. I've kind of lost those address books and things. You think people stay when you're young, that people are going to stay in your life forever. And even though it kind of makes me sad, because I'm kind of an emotional, loyal, I'm a good friend. I keep in touch with people all the way back to high school, and but you do travel through people. It's just the way life is. People, take other opportunities, people move, and so, that's actually a very common theme in a lot of my music and songs that I write, love songs. And, as far as how do you do it, you just have to, I'm an indie artist, though I will say that Monique Grimm at Bongo Boy Records has really helped me a lot over the years. She's a fantastic independent promotion company. And every year they get bigger and bigger. And, my accomplishments start coming through as well, because it's all through perseverance and promoting to TV, radio, and she has also promoted a lot of Grammy winners and nominees. And I'm starting to, I became a Grammy member years ago, and I never imagined I would. It looked insurmountable. And, you meet other fellow musicians, and there's some people that are not afraid to share information. And I'm one of those myself. Anything that can help a fellow artist, I'll give them resources. Some people help me, and you learn from other people that are actually better than you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I study,
Absolutely.
I learn, and I Google all the time. How do I How do I do this? How do I do music licensing? And when you find the people that really do support you, because we all know, and I'm in Nashville, that it can be kind of a nasty biz too. And there's a lot of sharks and a lot of people out there that want to take advantage of what I'll call the dreamers.
Yeah,
So I'm a
yeah,
dreamer, but you also have to visualize it. And I'm a firm believer in do your research. Anytime a company opens up a Facebook page and says, "Hey, I'm a record label," and 10,000 people jump on, I'll be Googling the name of the biz, the people running it, find out, oh, they have lawsuits in 5 other states, or
yeah,
they don't have a
yeah.
business license, and all those things. So I do my research. I just work hard, and I
Hmm.
just plug away until I pass out at night, and then it starts all over again the next day.
And you
But
do it
you
all
gotta
over
have
again the
fun too.
next day.
Yeah.
So, did you get your start in Nashville, or did you get your start somewhere else?
Uh, I um went to college in Colorado,
Okay.
and it goes all the way back to high school. I played violin, saxophone,
Hmm.
keyboard, guitar, probably all badly, jack of all trades, master of none. I loved singing. Had a very
Hmm.
influential choir director, Mr. Wittig, that taught me everything about music theory.
Hmm.
And then I decided to go off to college and study musical theater. My parents said, "You're wasting your time." I'm like, whatever. I went for the dream. I
Hmm.
studied dance, ballet, jazz, tap, and flailed around. But, I'm actually a really good tap dancer.
Really?
And,
You'd be like,
you know, learned great stage dancing, comedy,
Mhm.
acting, singing, the whole caboot. And then after I graduated college, my first professional job was in a professional dinner theater. And I did the dinner theater circuit for a while. And then, you learn as an entertainer what we call gigging,
Mm.
that as an entertainer, you're open to anything. You could be a master of ceremonies. I did Cher impersonations in my
Mhm.
younger years when I had the hot body, because hey, when you're in
Mhm.
your 20s, you feel invincible. You're like, my boobs are never gonna sag. Well, you can tell some of you young ones that enjoy it while you can, because when you get to be about 50, you'll be popping them up in your sports bra, lifting them up from your knees. But
Right,
anyway,
right. Picking them up.
but hey, and you can put an eye out with those things. It's great self-defense. But the whole point is you got to be open to opportunities. And so
Mhm.
I would jump onto anything,
Mhm.
hosting an event as a personality, being a comedian,
Mhm.
doing comedy, writing my own scripts,
Mhm.
formulating audience participation stuff, which I did shows like that at Disney World, the Busch Gardens. And I did so many bands of every genre that when I decided to move to Nashville in 2012,
Mm.
I wanted to feel creative and get back to writing my original music.
Mhm.
And that's why my music has all these influences, because I feel as an entertainer, it's not only a journey. And yes, yeah, I look back at my younger days where a lot of my songs, like the Bad Girl EP, I wanted to be like Whitney Houston and Celine Dion.
Mhm.
And I was singing all this really high pop rock stuff, which is great. That album still gets a lot of airplay, the Bad Girl EP. But in writing music, then I wanted to tell my story and just kind of like really put my own thoughts in my own original music. And so I started doing that. So it's more, as far as my style, American roots, and it mixes
Mhm.
country, blues, some rock, a little bit of pop, but it always stays in that American roots because it's either written on guitar or keyboard. And I've done everything. My producer, Bob McGilpin, is a 3-time Billboard hitmaker. If
Yeah.
you search Bob McGilpin on YouTube, you'll see him all the way back in the 70s doing backflips. And he had a hit
Wow.
with Sexy Thing. I want to say When You Feel My Love, and I want to say Disco Queen. I believe those are the 3 titles. But he was an entertainer himself. So now he helps other Nashville artists or other musicians.
Mhm.
And we have a great friendship and working relationship. And
Mm.
he really gets the music that I write when I make a demo. And he really
Yeah.
puts great sounds to it. So I'm real happy with what he does with all the songs that, we've produced together.
Yeah. So, I talked to an artist the other day from Canada, and she broke her record out in Nashville last year. Brody Dawson's her name, but she said, and I asked her as far as that downtown area with those double tier bars where you can perform upstairs, you can perform
Yeah.
downstairs. Like, do you get to experience that anymore, or are you at the stage now where you only do open venues where you schedule them as far as
I
that?
have those opportunities when I perform live. Most recently, for the last couple years, part of that video clip you see, I was performing out at the Debbie Reynolds Theater out in Los Angeles during Grammy week. I think that was 2 years ago. Beautiful stage. I really like, and probably comes from my music theater roots, I really love auditoriums and theaters, audiences that are there that actually, paid a ticket to come see you,
Right.
because they don't talk. These clubs downtown, I have many friends that work downtown Broadway. I've done some shows downtown, but it's a lot of tourists. It's a lot of people walking in and out of the bars. It's like going to a carnival. That's what
Yeah.
a lot of noise, and you can be singing and everybody's talking. And I just don't like that. I want people to come into a theater or an arena and watch the concert. So I've also done veterans events,
Yeah.
benefits, out in parks and things around Nashville. A couple months ago, the Troubadour Theater Nashville, I would love to mention to any of our listeners that come to Nashville. That used to be the Texas Troubadour Theater with the famous Ernest Tubb connection and record shop next to it.
Wow.
And they used to broadcast the Midnight Jamboree live from that theater every Saturday night. So it has a massive history of, Connie Francis and Marty Stewart and Ronnie McDowell and, Gene Watson and legends of country that have performed there. Lulu and Ronnie Stoneman from Hee Haw and, the Cowboy Church. So I like to hang out in that same plaza on Music Valley Drive, Music City Bar and Grill, which is owned by Rodney Collins, who is not only an artist and in his band himself, but he's the owner of that club. He recently acquired that Troubadour Theater. It's now called the Troubadour Theater Nashville.
Okay.
And same place, but he is working to preserve traditional country and its roots. And, we'll have bigger concerts because they renovated that entire theater with the dance floor, and it's still a beautiful stage and sound system. And so I performed there, a veterans benefit. And
Nice.
also, on a side note, Rodney Collins is releasing his first single January 10th, a Vern Gosdin cover. I can tell by the way you dance, you're going to love me tonight. It's his first radio release, so maybe you can hook him up for
Absolutely.
an interview next month. He's really excited about it, and I was very flattered that he asked me to help him promote it, which I'm happy to do because
Wow.
I have the utmost respect for him, not only as an artist in business, but I love going to his clubs because that's the type of clubs I like to go to. When I go in there, the musicians are all very welcoming. It's run by a family, and the people are having a great time. And the one's a honky tonk, the other's more of a theater. But there's a certain, I guess, chemistry and camaraderie that I just enjoy. That family feeling. And, when you think about country and real traditional country, it is about family and relationships and loyalty. So look for Rodney Collins.
Yeah, I
And
most
look
definitely.
for me in some of those places because I love hanging out there. And, Broadway is like the Broadway 100 cover tunes jukebox. So
Yeah.
I can do that, but keep them. I did 20 years of bands in Florida. So when I got to Broadway, I was like, what? You want me to pay for tips?
Right. You're like, huh?
So I'm focusing more on my original music out to radio, television, trying to make more videos, helping other artists. And those are just the ones that I feel a great connection with or believe in their project or their song. And also getting more involved with the Grammy organization and all that works. I'm just still learning a lot about the members, and boy, talk about some go-getters and people doing extraordinary things. So I'm always learning, always growing.
So tell us about that. You being a member of the Grammy organization or association. How long have you been a member, and what did it take for you to get a seat?
This is my 4th year as a member. To join, you have to provide a lot of documents of all your releases that are in music stores like Apple, you know,
Mm-hmm.
Music, iTunes, Spotify. You have to give them
Mm-hmm.
a list of all your releases, your dates, your accomplishments, your awards, your
Mm.
involvement in the community, your performances and events, and they're looking at your numbers and your sales and all those things. And so I
Mm-hmm.
learned, okay, now I got to start doing these lists, and I
Right.
need to get these things in order, because when I first looked at the requirements, it's like, wow, that's a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so I said, you got a little baby steps. Just start. What do you have? What don't you have? And then I
Right.
also helped a couple other artists with that just became members this year, what I'll say our independent artist community. And that's tough. It's a huge accomplishment as an indie
Yeah.
artist if you are not with a major label like Sony or Columbia, right? Or, you know,
Mm-hmm.
any of the major labels that dominate the music, because they have large financial budgets for promotion.
Right.
So as an indie artist, if you can become a member, and Bongo Boy Records, once again, as an
Mm-hmm.
independent label, that they help you put things in distribution, help you get magazine reviews. They have a
Mm.
TV show that goes out to 72 real terrestrial TV stations, a great music video show, that Monique Grimm does. So she
Yeah.
really helped me. And the more that you get out there and produce content and put out the music and get involved,
Mm-hmm.
um, then you kind of meet the people that have some of this knowledge and resources to get there. So I was really proud to become a Grammy member.
Yeah.
Each year there's events. Um, they are not part of the Grammy Association, but a group called the Indie Collaborative, run by
Mm-hmm.
Grant Malloy Smith and Eileen Sherman. They run a group which it's a resources and support for fellow independent artists. And a lot of them are Grammy members, Grammy winners, CMA, some just
Mm-hmm.
independent artists, but they are so great because they do showcases throughout the US that you can participate in. And they
Mm-hmm.
have meet and greets and things that happen, whether it's during Grammy week where you're out there, but also throughout the United States. So, like the Carnegie Hall and
Yeah.
Lincoln Center, and I've met really wonderful people. And,
Mm-hmm.
you know, all I can say is that if you don't think you can, you have to rethink. You got to rewire it and say, okay, what do I need to get there? And I live off list. I've got pages and pages of everything from to do to things I'm like, and you just plug away and plug away. And a year later, when you look at that list, you go, yeah, I actually did accomplish this and I
Yeah.
finished that. But there's always something you forgot about. But I I I have to write it down,
Mm-hmm.
and you got to visualize it, and then it's okay to dream. You got to fantasize. You got to put in your mind how you're going to do something like that
Right.
video Colorblind. I entered that in a number of international film festivals, and I did that video all by myself.
Really.
And I didn't want to just stand and lip sync, so I'm like, let's play some different characters, like a queen and a
Mm-hmm.
good witch and a vigilante, and
Yeah. Yeah.
kind of like mysterious. And so I did the wigs and the costumes, and
Mm-hmm.
I edited everything myself. I had to produce it all myself, and it's won 3 different film festivals so far, and some
Wow.
others pending. And what's really cool is that somebody's sitting in a theater, maybe across the world, and they watched your music video. I find that
Mm-hmm.
amazing.
Yeah.
And so it's not just, okay, record a song and put it out to radio. It's how many different markets can you
Mm-hmm.
stick it out there, whether it's licensing or live streaming, and film festivals are just an awesome, it's a
Was
wonderful resource for artists to put their music out there. So you know.
And that's where a lot of independent artists are kind of blind because they think it stops with social media and performing. When
Yeah.
you got things like that, for one, I know a lot of conferences, those are always good networking tools, award shows, like you said, festivals, of course. Those are all networking, spots as well. And I think the more independent artists see that, the better. Because how I met you actually, or was Natalie Jean, real good friends with Natalie. She was in a picture with you and two or three other artists at one of the award shows. So of
Yeah.
course, I started doing my research and I was like, let me find out who this is because I seen that you were, a part of a whole bunch of stuff. And of course, after that, we started networking. But that's how it works, you
Yeah.
start
And
finding out
Natalie
about
Jean,
people.
she's a perfect example. Very strong businesswoman because music is a business. Even if
Yeah.
you're not making any money at it, she is very smart and very hardworking and
hmm
resourceful. Like myself, she's always looking for opportunities
hmm
to expand and get her stuff out there. And um, you know,
Yeah.
you've got to. And now the award shows, for me personally, um, it's an honor to be awarded a Josie Music Award and things, but there's so many award shows out there.
Yeah.
And, I'm not a fan of click voting. I'm not a fan of
hmm
secret boards. Even the Grammys, I've got several friends that were nominated this year. And, they took away committees because it used to be that the Grammy members voted
Yeah.
and then committee might decide the final five. So actually, you could have the most votes, and then the committee could probably decide based on money or who might have bought the most ads with the Grammys, or you know,
hmm
had maybe bigger audiences than say an independent artist might
hmm
get a nominee. So I'm very happy that Linda Chorney is a second time Grammy nominee. She first got
hmm
nominated in 2012. This year, she
Mm.
almost got left off the ballot, which has been in the news, and they added her back on during the first debate.
I bet you they
She
did.
had the votes. She had the
hmm
vote. And we as independent artists need to speak out
hmm
and stay strong because we have just as much power as the big labels. We
Well,
really do.
we have a
And
voice.
a lot of friends of mine that got nominated are really making waves and showing those numbers, with their fans and sales and getting on Billboard. And we have to work like 50 times harder than
Yeah.
somebody that has hundreds of $1,000s maybe financed by a label that does all the work for them. So just imagine that you got to do the hair and the makeup and you got to show up and you got to do your appearances and you've got to answer
hmm
your own emails and schedule your own interviews and schedule your own promotion and magazine reviews and I pretty much do everything myself, plus I behind the scenes help a lot of other people.
Well,
And a
that's
lot of
it.
people said you should be a business, you should
You
charge
are a
people,
business,
but I don't want to be that business. I want to focus on my artistry, and that's actually
right?
it's a bigger goal for me this year that I'm still going to help people because people ask me all sorts of questions in Facebook chat and Messenger, and I give
hmm
people resources. But as far as promoting, like my friend Bob Stetson,
Yeah, I
um,
got his. I got it. One of his tracks.
yeah, did you guys do an interview? I can't
No,
remember.
no, but I think so. Bob, I got his one of his songs, or maybe two. I have
Yeah,
one
you'll
with
be
you
getting
and
another
Bob
one
Geldof.
in about a week. I'm going to be helping him get his next beautiful ballad coming out.
hmm
And he did a great video, and I directed and filmed that video, by the way.
So you got your hands in everything. I already.
Well,
That's
I
I
was
like you
inspired by
already.
that one. I thought Brand New Personality by
Yeah.
Bob Stinson, he did an awesome job. It was a funny song, traditional country. And then I
hmm
had the idea, why don't you play all the parts that he's watching on the infomercials? Because it was this cowboy being a slacker with beer and popcorn trying to win his girlfriend back.
Uh huh.
And so I said, how about you are also playing all the different infomercial actors
Really?
And
Oh,
that's
yeah,
what
yeah, I got
made the
creative.
video fun, and we filmed the whole thing. And he's a great actor, so and a great singer. So he's
Uh-huh.
going to have another song coming out. So you got Rodney Collins with a new tune coming out. You got
Mm-hmm.
Bob Stetson. You'll be getting a song from him. I've got a new duet coming out, by the way, with another singer,
Mm-hmm.
Matt Barfield, who was more of a Southern rocker, but this is going to be like a traditional country wedding song
Okay. So Old
duet.
Town Country.
And we got it recorded. We're in the mastering stages. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
thinking I'll give my little friends a push in January. Plus, I got the Grammy Awards end of January and traveling. So most likely
Wow.
my duet's going to come out probably February because it'll be perfect for Valentine's Day and then weddings and things to come. So
Yeah,
uh,
yeah. Well, you already know I'm one phone call away. You send me that single, and I will put it on my radio station. I want to give a shout out to Timothy Williams and Elusive Culture. He also has a podcast called Unplugged. He's tuned in, and he really admires the work that you've done in music. And then the other person, I'm trying to think if I could find him. I seen him earlier. I think her name was Annemarie Shea, but they both tuned in. It's several people that's tuned in, but they are the ones that's been sending messages that I could actually read. I try to keep up with that. So before we get you off of here, Annemarie, tell if you could give any aspiring artist, promoter, singer, comedian, any type of advice for the future, what would you give them? What type of advice would you give
get a day job. Get a job.
Everybody
Yeah,
hiring.
you better have some source of income. Um, for me, I do work a job because it's just a good steady pays the rent and bills and things like that. So I know that that's paid. And
Mm-hmm.
then, of course, I get paid for gigs and stuff. But, COVID showed a lot of musicians that you can't just rely on, so many people had concerts and events canceled and things. You better
Yeah.
have a secondary source of income. I don't
Mm-hmm.
care if you're selling Avon but a regular job or a part-time job or any job. You have to have, nothing happens overnight. You
Mm-hmm.
have to get out. So have a steady job. Two, always be willing to learn. I don't care how old you get, just because you got this
Yep.
job in a bar or this there, you're top dog now. Guess what? There are hundreds of musicians that come in that club every day trying to get your job.
Mm-hmm.
So always be professional. Always
Hey,
be
hey, Ellie.
consistent.
Sorry
Yeah.
about that.
You always, is that Howie Garut?
Uh, who I see Ellie on here. Ellie
Oh,
Falbo.
Howie. Okay.
Uh-huh. Shout out to Ellie.
Yeah.
But go ahead. Go ahead.
But, be professional, be dependable, show up on time, support the radio stations that support you. And I really do try and share these radio
Absolutely.
stations. But, if you're sending out 4,000 emails to put, then I really put 4,000 radio stations on my Facebook page. No, you can't because, of all the censorship and stuff. I
Right.
try and spread it around, or if I can't get it on my page, I try and share it either on Twitter or Instagram or share it to a group. But,
Mm-hmm.
try and stay involved. Then it does get tough when you think
Yeah.
about you're doing everything. You're working a day job, you're promoting, you're doing interviews, you're doing your music, all that stuff. It
Mm-hmm.
does get a little overwhelming. And so the last thing I want to say is, take a break when you need to. I see people complain, oh, they didn't make this top 20 chart or this or that artist. You know what? There are thousands and thousands of radio stations out there and award shows.
Yep.
And if one doesn't float your boat or they don't think you're the hot potato, guess what?
Mm-hmm.
Make your own noise. That's what I did getting into the film festivals and doing my own thing and also helping other people. Don't be
Yep.
selfish. There is plenty of music and plenty of opportunities go around. It's okay to share information with other artists. If
Mm-hmm.
you're good, other radio stations are going to appreciate you referring them other artists. It's not like, oh, you can't share the info. So I see a lot of people that are sharp that want to take all your info, but they'll never ever give you any tip.
That's
Well,
every day.
I do
Yep.
notice that, but my basic human nature is to help. If somebody asks me, I'm not going to say no because you're selfish.
Right, right,
I'm
right.
gonna say, hey, here's the info. It just,
Absolutely.
be reputable. That's what earns respect. And
Mm-hmm.
also always put out good quality. Don't put out crap. Sorry. If it takes time and takes months to fix something and make it radio ready or a video, and I've learned a lot because,
Yeah.
You put
Mm-hmm.
out bad photos or this or that or bad video. Once it's on the internet or over the internet, even if you think, oh my God, I want to change that, it's out there and somebody's going to find it. Out of the
Yep.
100 promo photos that you send to somebody, they're going to find that one bad photo that you posted on Facebook. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, yep,
That
yep.
wasn't even a professional photo. So now I'm like real picky, even sometimes about what I put on my social media because I'm like, I had
Mm-hmm.
one person, promotion company, take this photo. I looked all over my Facebook. I was like, where the heck did they get that photo?
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't find it anywhere on my stuff. And it's like, I never sent them that photo. So you'd be amazed at what people find. And,
Yeah.
if you're not sure, Google your name. So,
Mm-hmm.
Google your name. You'll be surprised what is or isn't. If you Google my name, Annemarie Picerno, you'll
Mm-hmm.
not only find my website and all my music and everywhere that you can connect with me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all my music stores. That's all great. And,
Mm-hmm.
as an artist, developing a good, strong social media presence, that's just all part of the biz. So get used to it. And when you get a little tired, take a break. That's what I do.
Take a break.
Take
I
a little
tell you
break.
that I swear by it. Take a break. I tell people all the time. And everything she said is spot on. The reason that I started my radio station is because I was getting flack from a lot of radio stations. So I went out and did it myself. You gotta do things yourself. Independent is a word and a definition, and that's what it means. So granted, you might not you can get help out here from different sources, but in order to be independent, you have to have that independency. So, and you have
Yeah.
to have creative mind. So,
It's a
but
freedom. It's actually a great thing as an indie artist to
yeah,
basically, you're saying, I'm going to do this artistically the way that I want to do it. It's fun. And not have somebody saying, oh, no, you shouldn't sing that song, or we want you recording
hmm
this, or you need to be this and that. Perfect example is a friend that had a beautiful voice, Donna Carroll, and she's more country. She's a country girl all the way, originally from Virginia. A
hmm
label was interested in her. And guess what they wanted her to sing? Pop
what?
music.
See,
She's like,
they.
I told her flat out, she didn't do it. I said
hmm
they don't understand who you are as an artist. I said
Nope.
that would probably make you really unhappy. Doesn't matter how much money.
Right.
So unless you can negotiate your own deal and be very strong and firm with what you want and how you want to present your music and your art,
hmm
when we get those opportunities, sometimes it's okay to even say no.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially now, than more nowadays than more than back in the day. It's better to say no because people don't understand artists. A lot of artists aren't educating themselves, so it's better to just say no. If it don't
Yeah.
look right, just say no.
Well, look at Taylor Swift when she was young, and they basically bought their way in. I mean, when I say bought their way in, she had a family that was willing to invest in her because they believed in her.
Right.
And when they got that big record label contract, they signed, they signed away her publishing. Well, she tried
Wow.
to get that publishing back now that she's a millionairess and,
hmm
you know, hundreds of thousands of concerts and, she's well off, but
Yeah.
she wanted the rights back to her original songs that are her songs that she wrote.
hmm
They, refused to relinquish back to her publishing rights. Now, she's a smart businesswoman and she's learned a lot since being that little teenage girl, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so she said, okay. And she's re-recording all those songs because she still owns the songwriting and she's
Mm.
reproducing them with her own slant.
That's
So guess
smart.
who's probably gonna, you know, the Taylor Swift fans will probably, when they go to listen, they're gonna want to hear the ones that she re-recorded, not the originals. And they were
hmm
sold for what, a couple $1 million when they sold the
Wow.
label and stuff. So, but she made a business choice to say, okay, then these songs I wrote, I'm going to re-record all of them because her originals masters are owned by the first label she signed with.
Yeah.
So she's just, you can do a remix. It's a classic thing that so many artists, if you wonder why they do a remix, it's because one, that song was popular, and two, they probably did sign away their rights when they got their first deal on that popular single. And that's
So
why
many
they do
different
the remix.
versions you can put to it. You can add to a song. The original is what exactly what it says it is. It's the original. But then after that, you know, the rest is history. You can do all kind of. You can do the salsa version, the remix. You know, so yeah, we all
And we
know.
all
But
get better and better anyway as artists. I listen to my original songs like Rain and Bonfire was a great collaboration that I invited some other indie artists on it. Lisa Coppola, Jimmy Parker, Donna Carroll. You know, it was inspired by Gene Piero. It had Steve Owen, Benny Pittsinger, all indie artists. And Bob McGilpin helped produce it. And that song could easily be put even into a bigger version with choir and chorus or a rock anthem. And you know, my songs were very simplistic American roots with guitar, and I wanted to keep it kind of folk country with the sounds, mandolin, banjo, you know, bass, guitar, all that. But if you saw that Kennedy Center Honors episode with was it Ann Wilson from Heart doing a tribute to Robert Plant, Led Zeppelin singing Stairway to Heaven? If you ever see that, if you Google Ann Wilson Stairway to Heaven, Kennedy Center Honors, it's amazing. It starts off and you're like, okay, it's a woman singing Stairway to Heaven, you know, and the song builds and builds, and she had an entire orchestra behind her. But the most exciting part was seeing Robert Plant's expression near the end and tear in his eye.
Right. It hit him.
Sung by somebody else, and then the curtain comes up, and there's like 200 choir in the back.
Oh,
when they get down to
the choir. Once you bring the choir out,
you know, singing the last verse, you know, and then you walk down the road, and all the choir, and it just built and built and built, and all these layers of musicians and cello and orchestra, and then all of a sudden the curtain goes up and choir belting out. It was amazing, and that to me was art. I'm like, that's what I want to do. So my songs are always built in layers, and they can be sung with that simple guitar, and they can become that big rock anthem. So I'm thinking about a couple redos on some of mine, or, you know, even having some contest or where other artists record my music. I think I'm at a point where I want to hear some other people do my music, and see what they come up with, because the songs I write, I try and make universal. So I hope everybody can check it out. Annemarie.Picerno.com. At the top of my website, you'll find Facebook and all the stores, Twitter, Instagram. You just click on any of the icons. You can connect with me all over, or just go direct to my website and check out my music and videos and where I'll be at.
Well, like I said, Ann, hey, this is a amazing interview. A lot of knowledge that you have given out to the viewers. We really appreciate everybody who tuned in. Shout out to everybody on all the platforms that tuned in. This is actually the most consistent amount of viewers I've ever had on one of my shows. So I really appreciate it. So yeah, thank you. Thanks again. And we will be in touch. Like I said, whenever you drop that new single, you already know whose email to drop it in, like a Christmas gift. Just drop it on in there. And I will put it at the top of the list. But we really appreciate it, Ann. Thanks again.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And so this was day 4. We got one more day. New Year's Eve, we have national award-winning gospel artist Eternal. She will be on tomorrow night. Tune in, guys. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in and the support and the love. If I don't holler at you, have a happy holiday, Ann, and we will talk soon.
All right. Happy New Year, too.
All right. Have a good one.
fois.